only thing I'm going to ask is everybody that's standing over here, get on the sidewalk. This is Barb. You guys can fit on
Good morning, everyone. My name is Stacy Hendler-Ross. I'm the Public Information Officer for the Valley Transportation Authority. Thank you so much for coming this morning. I want to get our program started, and I'd like to introduce Milpitas Vice Mayor Carmen Montano.
It is wonderful to see you all out here. This is a big celebration, and this is wonderful, beautiful. So good morning and welcome everyone. My name is Carmen Montano, Vice Mayor for the city of Milpitas. I was going to say Montano, the city of Milpitas. I also serve as a board member for the VTA, and I'm doubly proud to be here to help present this beautiful pedestrian overcrossing to our community. While it's beautiful to look at, this bridge is serving as an important safety feature in our community, in an area that is becoming a very vibrant, busy area of the city. If you know, we have the transit center, lots of buildings going on. You may be surprised to know that VTA is so intimately involved in building this pedestrian overcrossing, but this is part of a public transportation because it is helping to connect people to this beautiful new public transit center. Right over here. We also have Trader Joe's now, which is really great. So I am proud of the investment Milpitas has made both financially and with our great staff to support public transportation and in turn support projects like this beautiful bridge. The total funding for this project was $19.33 million. I am happy to note that funding was divided among several sources, including the city, the state, and regional resources. As your Vice Mayor, I will continue to fight for funds to support the city of Milpitas. Finally, I want to say thank you to all the funding partners and all the incredible staff that made this possible. Thank you for being here today. Enjoy. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Steve Chan, City of Milpitas Transportation Manager. It is very satisfying to see more than 10 years of your work come to life. Completion of this vibrant pedestrian overcrossing in the heart of Milpitas transit area advanced a tremendous transportation goal for the city to improve mobility. Throughout the planning processes for BART, Silicon Valley Extension, and the city's transit area specific plan, City of Milpitas, members of the public, and stakeholders such as VTA and Santa Clara County have advocated support for this bridge for the purposes of improving connectivity, circulation, safety, and quality of life in Milpitas. This footbridge provides a direct, convenient, and secure path that connects BART Station Campus, Great Mall Shopping Center, and residential development in the surrounding area. This facility significantly enhances pedestrian and bike safety to the transit center by reducing the need to cross a busy intersection along Montague Expressway and substantially lessen the incentive for jaywalking across this high-speed road. With almost a direct connection between Great Mall and the transit center, this overcrossing also decreases walk and bike trip time by up to 6 minutes. This time saving, in conjunction with the heightened safety, will lessen the need to drive. The city is encouraged that this will help reduce auto reliance, cut greenhouse gas emission, and promote a healthy lifestyle. I sincerely believe this facility will further spur people to embrace shopping, working, and living in Milpitas because our city is walkable, transit supportive, and environmentally conscious. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Casey Imoto. I'm VTA's Chief Engineering and Program Delivery Officer. And thank you, Steve, for those remarks and your continued support throughout the course of the project. So this was a very exciting project. Pedestrian overcrossing is a result of much collaboration between the City of Milpitas and VTA, as well as the countless engineers, contractors, artists, and also want to put in a plug for the County of Santa Clara that was also involved. One of the first things that stands out, and some of you guys have already mentioned, is the vibrant colors, right? And so, you know, we were fortunate to have a great design team to build it, design it, especially the aesthetics. That was an important part of the project. But I wanted to give a few details on some of the engineering features for the project. It's a steel frame truss structure. Try to say that 3 times in a row. It's 230 feet long, spans all the way across Montague Expressway, across the 8 lanes of traffic. We actually made a design change. It had a column in the middle when we designed it, and we took it out for the aesthetics. And also to improve, you know, sort of impacts on Montague Expressway, to lessen that. The bridge was actually assembled next to Montague Expressway and lifted into place. I think you guys remember that on the weekend when we did that. It was pretty exciting. Unlike many other pedestrian overcrossings, this actually features a elevator on the other side, which you'll all get to see in a few moments. It was put in and provides direct access way to the barred parking garage, as you can see. As I mentioned a moment ago, there was collaboration amongst many different people. I wanted to mention a few of those entities and people. So I'll start with the funding. Director Montague mentioned the funding. And so we had funding from the state, you know, from the city, the state, and also from the Federal Transit Administration on this nearly $20 million project. From the city of Milpitas, I'd like to thank Steve McCarris, Steve Erickson, and Steve Chan for their support in securing the local funding and also leading the city's efforts through the design and construction phases. I'd like to also note that we have staff here from the designer, Biggs Cardosa, as well as from the contractor, DMZ Builders, are also here, and some of their sub-consultants as well. Finally, James Chai, who is right there. Raise your hand, James. I'd like to thank him. He was the project manager for VTA. Did an excellent job, kept the project on budget, on schedule, and took it to fruition. And I could stand here and name several people, but I think Stacy would flag me for that. So I'll just say thank you to all the other people that worked on the project and accept VTA's heartfelt appreciation for bringing the project to completion. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Bill Gould, and I am the principal of Artique Art and Architecture, and I design the aesthetics, the panels that you see up here. There's 162 panels per side, so about 324 panels. They are representing the Mission Peak area that you see when you're driving east on Montague. And just so you understand what it stands for, there are 21 staff lines that were kind of drawn across the bridge. As the ridge line moves up and crosses a staff line, it's assigned a color. And so what I like to do in my work is assign formulas and then let them develop on their own and organically. So that is what happened here. One thing I would like to also say is that while the aesthetics are something that you see, there was a huge amount of work done by the design and engineering team. And, you know, I was just brought in at the end to kind of give it a little flair. So I just want to thank the city, VTA, and all of the engineers and everything that I worked with. Thank you.
Good morning, Milpitas. Welcome everybody to the land of cornfields. I'm Rich Tran, the mayor of the city, and I'm so happy to be here. Why? Because it took really a whole journey to be here. Our partners at VTA and the city of Milpitas. I couldn't ask for really a better partner, considering everything you see when you look around. I started here in the city hall back in 2016, and you know, a lot of the groundwork for a lot of what you see was sort of happening through meetings and things, and it wasn't a smooth process, whether it was the pedestrian overcrossing here or even the extension of South Milpitas Boulevard. And so I do want to give gratitude to all the people that I saw firsthand that really went through a lot of challenges to resolve concerns and things. So I do want to recognize Nuria Fernandez, formerly of VTA. She made many trips to Milpitas to meet with folks in City Hall to get things done. I want to thank the folks that are in my City Hall, whether it was Julie Edmonds Mares, our former city manager, to our current city manager, Steve Vacaris, our director of engineering, Steve Erickson, Steve Chan, one of our traffic engineers. Who else? I used to serve on the VTA board for a little bit, and I remember being there at the county building and making that vote to fund the artwork here. And I'm really appreciative of the VTA board at the time who supported the cause. I always let residents know that it could have been just plain. It could have been like that overcrossing down at the courthouse, one of those things. But I'm so thankful that our whole county and everybody on the VTA board at the time made the decision to really do something a little more special. And we are recipients of that here in Milpitas. Oh, here's who I want to thank. I want to thank the Congressman, Ro Khanna. Folks talked about the funding, and I think at the time it was $7 million from our Milpitas City Transit Area Specific Plan developer fees. And so you see a lot of the growth here, condos, apartments, whatever. They pay a lot of fees to pay for this overcrossing, so that's pretty big. And I want to thank, again, Ro Khanna for the federal dollars. He was an advocate throughout the way. We really had to connect with him a few times so that he can ensure the dollars were going to be received. And I guess the last person I'll thank is our current VTA board representative, our vice mayor, one of my favorites here in Milpitas, Carmen Montano, for really being with VTA through the most challenging times and for good things like this. So we recognize your hard work is not just artwork, but a lot of things that people don't go, a lot of things that are unseen. And so thank you, Vice Mayor Carmen Montano. I'm proud of you. This overcrossing really is symbolic of our city. As you know, the Great Mall, if you didn't know, the Great Mall used to be a Ford factory, and folks used to come into town to go to work for the most part, and now here we stand in the year 2021, and we have this beautiful BART station, the best BART station in all of the system, and this beautiful pedestrian overcrossing. So every time I look at it, I want to call it the Rainbow Bridge, but there's no water under it. And so I'll call it the Rainbow Pedestrian Overcrossing, and it's gorgeous. I also want to thank actually Jim Lawson. Is Jim here? No, he's not here, huh? Well, I want to thank Jim Lawson, our former city council member and vice mayor in the city of Milpitas over 20 years ago. He was really instrumental with the light rail coming to town, and I know that he's proud of the work that's being done here 20 years after he served the city of Milpitas. This pedestrian overcrossing is a great example of how the city of Milpitas makes important investments in local infrastructure that brings communities together. Improving infrastructure and advancing transportation goals are key to strengthening our city and economy, especially as we recover from the impact of COVID-19. The work that we have done with the VTA is exceptional and will result in an enhanced quality of life and additional business and job opportunities for our land of cornfields. It is an exciting time for Milpitas because the pedestrian overcrossing further opens up our city to tourists and local residents and hopefully business travelers. I want to thank the VTA for their continued partnership on this important project. Last but not least, again, I would like to thank the Vice Mayor, Carmen Montano, our VTA board representative, for her leadership representing the Northeast Santa Clara County cities. Thank you.
So, Mayor and Vice Mayor, we're going to have you lead our group upstairs for ribbon cutting.